Hello and welcome to Rise and Unwind Orlando. My name is Dan. You know, each and every week, my friends and I talk to people from across the country about things you could do in your neighborhood. And on this week's show, we got this.
I put on 15 pounds of muscle.
All of that and more right here on Rise and Unwind Orlando.
When it comes to game day, some of us enjoy the food even more than the game. Whether you're heading out to the stadium or throwing a watch party at home, great snacks and recipes are just as important as your lucky jersey. Joining us now is celebrity chef Jamie Gwen with tailgating ideas that are simple, tasty, and sure to please the whole crowd. Welcome, Jamie.
Thank you so much for having me. Yes, I am all about the food and then the football. Is that okay to say?
Absolutely. Like I said, I love the food just as much as the game, if not more. So tailgating and home gating, is that what we're calling it? It seems bigger than ever. What's driving that trend?
Yeah, you can call it whatever you like. You can call it tailgating or home gating. I call it couch gating because we like to stay at home. But for sports fans, I will say tailgating defines game day, right? The real fans know that tailgating is more than a grill and a cooler, let's say. It has become a lifestyle. And what I love about it is the camaraderie, the connection, family, friends, everyone together. And then I love the easy, fun, festive recipes and planning the menu and all this good stuff.
So beef is always on the menu for football season. What makes it such a fan favorite for grilling?
When it comes to tailgating, you're right. There's no doubt. Beef is king. Juicy burgers sizzling on the grill, the ultimate crowd pleaser, right? Research actually shows that nearly 75% of fans say that burgers are a must when it comes to tailgating. And with lean ground beef, you get really rich flavor. You get the high quality protein that we're all in search of. You get endless topping possibilities. Burgers are simple to prep. They're quick to cook. They're guaranteed to bring home the win. I make a spicy cheeseburger slider for many reasons. I love jalapeno jack. The good quality ground beef. I'm a barbecue sauce on my burger kind of girl because I like the sweet, savory tang to complement the spicy cheese. And I like a slider because you can hold it with one hand and root on your team or high five with the other. But tailgating without nachos, that's just crazy, right? So I make an easy nacho beef dip, which is simply ground beef, queso, and salsa, but it is wildly addictive. I put it out with everything that you can dip into it. Sometimes I'll do shredded lettuce and chopped red onion like a taco bar, but proving that beef is so versatile for every game day spread. You can find information and inspiration at beefitswhatsfordinner.com, funded by the Beef Checkoff, of course.
Okay, so for tailgaters like me who may not be as gifted in the kitchen as, say, celebrity chef Jamie Gwen, what frozen or refrigerated items would you recommend for the air fryer?
Yeah, by the way, I'm not faulting you for a fully stocked freezer. I keep a very well-stocked one. I have a 5-year-old. And if you know me, you know that I have a love affair with an air fryer. I really do. The air fryer has become the game day MVP. And Easy Home Meals is here with air fryer friendly frozen and refrigerated picks that really make game day tailgating simple and delicious and stress-free. And I like to say guilt-free too, because I'll put out a spread like this, a big board of air fryer favorites. I'll get it out. And I feel good about it, right? So from the mozzarella sticks to the crispy dill pickles, to the fries of every sort, to the taquitos and the churros, sweet and savory, frozen and refrigerated staples available year round, of course, but stocked up on during the football season. I like to round it out with a refrigerated dip like tzatziki or hummus, which makes everybody happy. And you can find inspiration at easyhomemeals.com for all this goodness, brought to you by the National Frozen and Refrigerated Foods Association.
All right, now give me some tips here. What are some easy ways for me to stand out the next time I'm in the stadium parking lot, or to make sure my house is the go-to destination for our marathon game days?
Yeah, you got it. I'm going to make you a culinary hero. Don't forget drinks and extras. They always make the party. And I like a DIY party, right? So you pour yourself your drink. I like to batch my cocktails, my mocktails, my fresh fruit punch for the kids. I do it in pitchers. Everybody pours themselves. That way we get to enjoy our own party too. Don't forget hydration. Think sparkling water and an array of fresh fruit. That tends to tide everybody over. I always serve a new snack at every quarter. It keeps everybody engaged and they always want to come back to your house. And don't forget, you can dip or hold with one hand and root for your team with the other. That is guaranteed to make you a culinary hero. I like AstroTurf laid out on all the counters and the, prep table too, just to get in the spirit. And you'll find more inspiration for tailgating of every variety on social at Chef Jamie Gwen.
Jamie, thanks for being here and thanks for making me hungry.
That's my job. I hope I successfully did it. Thank you for having me.
September is Prostate Cancer Awareness Month, and it's a reminder of just how many men face this disease every year. We're talking with Dr. Benjamin Lowentritt, a leading expert in prostate cancer care, and Bob Lane, nicknamed Elevator Bob, a survivor who's turned his journey into advocacy. Great to have you both here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Chris.
Dr. Lowentritt, not all prostate cancers are the same. What are some of the types men may not know about, and how do hormones play a role?
Yeah, thanks for the question. And I'm really pleased to be here partnered with Johnson & Johnson to talk about prostate cancer. We do talk a lot about initial phases of prostate cancer, but for many men, it will either come back or spread before we even find it. And for those men, the critical question is, are they at a stage where it's hormone sensitive or hormone resistant? And that hormone sensitive disease means that testosterone, which is the main fuel that feeds prostate cancer, is still the main driver of the disease. So we can actually use that in treatment to block the production, or through medicines like Erleada, block the function of testosterone and therefore put the cancer into a dormant state.
Bob, you've been through this yourself. Can you tell us a little bit about your treatment journey?
Good question, Chris. Yes, I can. Was taken out surgically originally in 2014, but like prostate, I was one of the people where it came back, as Dr. Lowentritt just alluded, and it came back. Ultimately, we treated it 4 years after we noticed it was coming back. So we had a long conversation between the start of that metastasis and the ultimate dismissal of it through radiation of 4 years. And during those 4 years, I had several conversations with the care team about different care plans because we knew that mine was sensitive. And we ultimately settled on the combination with the Erleada, the same drug Dr. Lowentritt is talking about. And it's been very, very successful. It's one pill a night for me. And it's put me in a place where I'm living a normal life and no one would know I ever had cancer if I hadn't told them previously.
Well, I'm so glad to hear that. But I got to know more about this name, Elevator Bob. How did you get that name? How do you use it to tell your story and help other patients?
I like the name. The head nurse came up to me one day and asked me if I would speak with men in the lobby after they are finished their advanced prostate cancer clinic meetings with the doctors and the nurses. And I said, sure. Because I've been through the surgery, I've been through the radiation, I've been through the side effects, et cetera, et cetera. And I meet with them if they approach me. If they don't approach me, the conversation doesn't take place. But once they do approach me, I speak about different options that are available to learn more about their cancer. I give them questions to ask their doctors because building a group, building a support group is critical, I found. And most prostate cancer patients will say the same thing. The support group is going to be made up of the healthcare people that you're working with, fellow prostate cancer survivors, and also family members. So that's what I do. I share information with them, give them questions to ask, and help them navigate their journey. I don't ever give a recommendation because I'm not a doctor, but I do know, good, solid research and share that with them.
Dr. Lowentritt, you've done research using real-world evidence. What exactly is that, and why does it matter in prostate cancer care?
Yeah, thanks for the question. So real-world evidence, just like it sounds, is using information that we're getting from everyday medical practices around the country. So as opposed to clinical trials, which are very structured and very curated patients, we're actually able to learn from what is happening, in all types of environments around the U.S. So what we're able to do is sometimes answer questions that may not be asked in a clinical trial, but also reinforce what is in the clinical trial so that people can have the most confidence when they're understanding the impact of medications like Erleada on their cancer. So it's been really a helpful layer both for doctors and for patients to kind of understand more about what they could expect from these treatments.
And how can patients and doctors use this real-world evidence to make better decisions about treatment?
Yeah, I think that, we get to sort of ask questions that are harder to ask in a formal clinical trial. So you may look at it and be able to understand, hey, in a particular patient type, or when I'm looking at particular options for treatment, what might make the most sense for this patient, because we have a broad look to pull from. So it's really exciting to be able to present the information. And I think, like I said, the gold standard is from clinical trials, but real-world evidence is emerging as a really helpful option for doctors and patients to understand the treatment options, and of course also layer that in with what can you expect from potential side effects, and what is the long-term outcome that you're hoping for. But all of this factors into the discussion.
Bob, where can men going through this, where can they turn for more support?
Good question. There's different online sites. Zero Prostate Cancer is one that I use a lot because it has some good information about the different stages of the disease and different questions to ask doctors. And I also, again, doctor talked about Erleada.com is a good source to find information about side effects and about the different questions that they can use those questions to ask the doctor. Those are two good places.
And Dr. Lowentritt, where can people go for more information on treatment options?
Yeah, I think first and foremost, please have that conversation with your doctor. Don't be afraid to ask for a second opinion if you want to find a specialist in prostate cancer. And then websites like Erleada.com for specific questions about a treatment are really critical to getting the information you need.
Well, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us, Chris.
You ever wonder about what happens to a fighter after the cheering stops? Bang Bang follows a retired boxer trying to make good on family, on legacy, and on himself. It's gritty, it's grounded, and it's set against Detroit. Today we've got actor Andrew Liner, who plays Justin, joining us to dig into the story and work out what went into it. Welcome to the show, Andrew. How are you, my friend?
Good. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, can you give us a quick version? What is Bang Bang about, and who is Justin in this world with Tim Blake Nelson's Bang Bang?
Bang Bang is about Tim Blake Nelson's character, Bang Bang Bernard. And it follows the life after fighting. It's about what happens to a title fighter after they retire. I play his grandson, who he then starts coaching, and they start forming a connection, and they start, they need each other. They need each other. It's a important relationship. It's a father-son type of relationship. It's a coach to his athlete relationship as well. And we kind of explore the complexities of that father-son coach-athlete combination. And but really, it's about life after fighting for these people, for these boxers and these fighters, and where it can lead. And unfortunately, Bang Bang's story is not the worst of them all.
So what kind of training or prep did you do to get Justin believable in the ring and in some of those personal, quieter moments?
I like to work physically and then start going into the internal stuff. I put on 15 pounds of muscle, and I started boxing a lot more every day. And I grew up boxing a little bit, watching boxing, but all I was watching was boxing documentaries, fights, interviews, and all I was doing was kind of just training and boxing myself. So it was a physical and then into the internal. I think that exploring the quieter moments was, I was out there in Kentucky. It was by myself. I didn't really have anyone my age out there either. So it kind of became this cathartic experience that was, in a way, a parallel to Justin's quietness. So, yeah, I think athletes all feel the quiet at a point in time.
And you're opposite a heavyweight cast. What did you pick up working with Tim Blake Nelson and the rest of the ensemble?
Every actor was so unbelievably talented, but at the same time, the biggest thing that I learned was they all were true and they were honest and they were real and they were just talking and listening. And it got to a point where everyone was trying a bunch of different things within the confines of continuity, within the confines of being real, and within the confines of their character. And I think that it, in a way, pushed me to start exploring that in myself, to start exploring, maybe I gotta swing bigger here, or just try this, or just try that, or in what's honest to me, and push myself to the best of my abilities, just like Tim did, and just like Erica did, and Glenn, and just that's what it was inspiring. It was motivating, and it was, it was a blessing to just watch them work.
And what do you hope audiences feel walking out? What's the takeaway you kind of want them to sit with?
This is about a fighter after they're done, and I think that he is brash and he is abrasive and he's not the nicest guy at times, but I think that he is trying to do good. And I think that if you're in the pursuit of goodness, that's where we want to be. We want to be helping each other. We want to be, fighting for honor. We want to be forgiving and forgetting. And I think that Bang Bang is about that. I think that it is about the, rocky road of this post-life, this post-title fighter, this guy who is in the pursuit of goodness. And it's not pretty, but it's honest. And I think Justin needs him, and he shows up. He didn't have to. So they need each other. And I think we all need each other.
And you've got another big one coming up, working with Destry Spielberg on Please Don't Feed the Children. Yeah. How are you feeling heading into that?
Man, it's really exciting. I think that having that under my belt, having another job under my belt is really important. And I'm thankful to be working in a time in our industry where, we went from COVID to strikes to fires, and it's been bleak, and it's been, there's a lot of phenomenal actors that aren't working. I'm just blessed to be working and not only working, but working with Destry. It's a true blessing.
Andrew, thanks for joining us today. Bang Bang is now playing in select theaters with more cities rolling out across the country. Check your local listings to see where it's showing near you. Hey, Andrew, thanks again.
Thank you so much for having me.
You ever wonder what happens when a quiet acoustic project grows into a full-blown rock trio? Sacramento's own Vinnie Guidera and the Deadbirds have done just that. Their new album, After Image, is packed with sharp lyrics and inventive sounds, all created on a DIY budget and released completely on their own. Vinnie, Kevin, and Ian are proof that creativity kind of wins over constraints. Welcome to the show, Vinnie. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me.
All right, this project started out as you and an acoustic guitar. What made you start to expand into a full band?
I've played with Kevin and Ian on and off since we were in high school. Initially, this was a solo acoustic project, and we built it up for a full band show that was supposed to be like a one-off special thing. And we ended up really liking that arrangement and enjoyed exploring the dynamics of playing a little bit louder and heavier.
And the new record, After Image, it was self-recorded, self-released. What did doing it yourselves kind of allow you to explore what you might not have otherwise?
If we were paying for studio time, it would be a constant battle against the clock and just, constantly thinking about paying by the hour, things like that. And if we're doing it at home, we can take our time, do it at our own pace, explore ideas that come along the way, and it shifts the focus from our budget to creative matters, which is the way it should be.
And your latest single, One at a Time, it digs into feelings of like dread creeping out during like quiet moments. How did you bring your idea to life in the music video?
I it's sort of in the same DIY spirit. I wanted to explore visuals of something familiar that looks wrong and uncanny, because the song's about kind of dark thoughts and anxiety coming from within, even when everything should be okay. So we used my house for the majority of the video, and we just kind of made my house look wrong.
And you run your acoustic through pedals and a Marshall half stack. Why'd you choose that setup, and how does that shape the band sound?
That was my setup when I was playing lead guitar in a very different band. And when we built this up for a 3-piece, I plugged my acoustic into that same amp just because that's what was there. And it ended up opening up a lot of dynamic possibilities. So I like the way an acoustic resonates through an electric rig. I think it feels interesting, and it results in some interesting textures.
I always like to ask about ask musicians about some other artists that influence them, and it's not the generic "what musicians influence you," because we could go down that list and it's probably the same answer every time. But what are some of the artists outside of the medium that you work in that influence your work, and how do you feel that they do?
It's probably no surprise based on my background here that I'm a big David Lynch fan. So especially when it comes time to make a music video or cover art or something beyond the music itself, it's fun to draw on influences like that. And I think David Lynch was a master of creating this uncanny feeling where you can't exactly put your finger on why it makes you uncomfortable. You just know that it does. And it's fun to try to capture that in the art that I make.
With Afterimage that it's out now and you have a November tour ahead, what can fans expect from some of these live shows?
They can expect a bunch of songs from the new album, maybe a fun cover here and there. We're going to be playing in cities we've never played before, which will be exciting. And I'm really just looking forward to new people hearing our stuff and hopefully finding something that resonates with them.
From conception to projection, how long did it take you guys to come up with the idea for the music video, maybe even the song that went along with it, and to finally showing it on screen for friends and fans?
The idea stemmed from the cover art. It's sort of an expansion on that imagery of, darkness and anxiety coming from inside rather than outside. So it didn't really take long to come up with the idea, and the actual production of the video was pretty quick. It only took, maybe a week to film and edit it. Now it premiered on a local music website here in Sacramento, and I'm excited for people to see it far and wide.
All right, let's take a peek at One at a Time with Vinnie, Guidera, and the Deadbirds. You can check out After Image on color vinyl, CD, or digital right now at vgdb.bandcamp.com. Keep up with the band's tour and new music by following VG and the DB on Instagram or at facebook.com/Vinnie Guidera Music. Hey, Vinnie, thanks for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
What do you get when you mix couture chaos, Murder in Paradise, and a comeback wedding with secrets that could pretty much kill? It's another simple favor. It's the long-awaited sequel that reunites Anna Kendrick and Blake Lively for another round of sharp wit, killer fashion, and even deadlier twists, this time in Capri. Joining the cast is Tony winner Alex Newell, who plays Vicky, Stephanie's fierce and fabulous book agent. Welcome to the show, Alex. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing okay.
Good.
This sequel, it brings back a lot of wild energy from the original, but now we're in Capri with even more secrets and high fashion. What's it like stepping into the deliciously chaotic world?
Amazing. And I get to be in Capri. Who doesn't want that? And oh God, that backdrop is gorgeous.
From Shucked on Broadway to a Paul Feig thriller in Italy, you've been booked and busy. What drew you to Another Simple Favor, and how did it feel to collaborate with this ensemble?
You know, when my agent texted me and said, "Hey, do you want your White Lotus moment?" I was like, absolutely. And she said, "Well, Paul is directing the sequel of A Simple Favor and wants you to come on out to Capri and play this role." And I was so honored because I'd worked with Paul on Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist before. And so to come back and be actually directed by him and work with this incredible ensemble was just a dream come true. Everybody was so lovely.
And the movie blends comedy, mystery, and a little bit of glam, sometimes all pretty much in the same scene. What was your favorite moment in the film, or one that you think that you will always remember?
Oh my goodness, my favorite moment from the film that I think that entrance to Capri, the boat ride into it. I think that was just breathtakingly beautiful, just riding in onto it. Ugh.
And between the twists, the couture, and the cast chemistry, what do you think will surprise audiences the most this time around?
The chaos. I mean, there is so much happening that you don't get a break from it. I think that's what they'll really take from it, but also kind of like what friendship is. I think we all have that frenemy and that friend that we all like to jab at and talk to, but we love them regardless.
Alex, thanks for joining me this morning. You should check out Another Simple Favor. It's available now on Amazon Prime. And that's it for Rise and Unwind, Orlando. Want to thank you for tuning in and checking out the show. And until next week, that was Rise and Unwind.